Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista here on YouTube, and today is Tuesday, May 24th. It has been a goddamn day. It has been a day. Jesus is testing me and I haven't studied. You know, since decluttering, I've also started to want to become more honest with people, even if it's going to be an uncomfortable conversation, right? Because I don't like conflict, and I really think that stems from my childhood. I really do. So you guys have heard me talk about work and about how my boss is always like trying to change things. And I mean, we changed our like work program that we use to categorize our jobs and stuff 3 times. And each time, it hasn't been because it's easier for me, because apparently it's easier for my boss. And so I'm the one that uses it the most. So I've learned those programs. Hasn't been any pushback. I've gone along with it. Gone along with everything that she has wanted to impart or try to teach us in our software, and some of the things I've used. But today was like the first pushback that I gave to her, and she didn't like it. So in our software, you know, I'm editing, right? I'm editing depositions, and there are features in there that, like, I set up what's called a macro, where if I hit like Control O, the word okay pops up. Meaning, you know, things that you type a lot, set up as a macro because it's going to save keystrokes, right? So there's also something in our software called Easy Text, where you can set up something like, let's just say, by Mr. Jones, because there's a lot of times we have what are called bylines and she misses them. So instead of typing that every time, I type it in there, and then when I have to insert it, 2 clicks and it's inserted. Okay. Now her friend had sent that to us. Wait a minute, I gotta pause for a second. Okay, had to deal with some stuff at the door. But anyway, I was talking about work. So there was this program, a free program, a free download that my boss thinks was just really great. And that was going to help us as far as during the editing. And I had been on a Zoom with her like a week or 2 ago about it, and she showed me, and she had messaged us, the whole team, yesterday, and was like, I really want to show you this. Can we get on a Zoom? And I'm like, I'm too busy today. I'm like, you know, on a day off from work, I'm not off. Like, we're trying to do shit, right? Like, I'm trying to do a billion things. So she wrote me back today and was like, if you could just spend 10 minutes with me on this program, I can really show you how to use it, blah, blah, blah. Now, when she showed me the other day, you know, last week or whatever, I thought to myself, I'm never going to use this. I'm never going to use this program because I have the things down as far as saving me keystrokes. So after our job ended today, her and I went back in email for about a good 20-25 minutes because she had pointed out some things I had done incorrectly. And I looked and I didn't see them done incorrectly. So I was asking her to clarify. But then she was like, you know, can we get on a Zoom, blah, 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 about this program? And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to be honest with her, because normally I would have just gone along, let her get on a Zoom call, show me this program, and then never use it. She would never know if I didn't use it. So I decided to write her back, and I said, look, I'm going to be honest here. This program, I'm never going to use it. And I just explained why, like, I think the things I'm doing now work. Well, she didn't like that. She writes back and she's like, you're missing the whole point. I'm trying to save you strokes when we're editing. And she's like, I know you just don't want to get on a Zoom call. And she was like really taken aback and offended. And I feel like, and she wrote me back and she said, it's not really personal frustration with you. It's frustration with like the reporting industry as a whole, because she said there's so much technology out there that reporters aren't taking advantage of. And so I wrote her back and I said, well, you have to realize too that just because you think something's great doesn't mean somebody else is going to think it's great. There's no, everyone's different. Everyone does things differently. And she seems to me very inflexible in that regard, meaning she, we have to accept each other's differences. But she doesn't. And so she was offended. And we went back and forth, and she said, I'm trying to help you. You're stressed out. When we have a tough day, you're stressed out because you can hardly get up and take a break. I'm trying to help you in that regard. I'm like, this program has nothing to do with that. I said, on days that I literally feel like I don't get up from my chair, it's because of a myriad of other things. Dealing with the team, questions, concerns from them, trying to upload exhibits as they upload them so the team can have access to them. Zoom technological difficulties, which happens. Witness and attorney talking too fast. Witness has an accent. Or if we have a heavy technical job, having to stop and research terms, which puts us way behind. I said, it's all of those things combined that on a difficult day, that it makes it difficult to get up and take a break. But man, we just went back and forth, and I was standing my ground, because I don't think she gets much pushback, from things like that. And I told Bill, I said, I need to start being more honest with people, even if it's uncomfortable, because I'll just let people just run ripshot over me, roughshod or whatever that word is. And I'm done doing that. No. Man, I wish I could retire. Right? Let me pause. Okay, I'm sorry for pausing so much. I should have just put my phone on airplane mode, because it's like, Jesus, really? Okay. So enough about work, because fuck. But yeah, no. Nope. I was going to be honest with her, even if she didn't like it. And she didn't. She didn't like it. But you know what? When it comes down to it, I'm not an employee of hers. I'm a subcontractor. So if I say tomorrow I'm quitting, I can quit. I mean, you can do that anyway with a job. You know what I mean? But trust me, the work that I do, seriously, now everyone's replaceable. I'm fully aware of that. But the work that I do for her really is invaluable. And she did recognize that in one of the emails that we sent, because we literally sent like 10 or 15 emails back and forth. She had said, you're worth every penny that I pay you. Well, yeah, no doubt about that. Okay. Some days are just better than others, obviously. And today just wasn't one of those good days. Okay. So stitching, I did do some stitching last night on my piece. I absolutely love the 18 count paper. I cannot gush about this enough. I need a piece. Oh, we'll just use this. The stitching looks so crisp and clean with one strand. I mean, can you even right now with that, right? So I got the word but done. It's but for hot cocoa. It says but for ... a cup with steam, and then hot, and then cocoa. So yeah, enjoying it very much. And the letters are very easy to stitch with not a lot of color changes. It goes quicker. So coloring, I've decided, and I found my collection of Jelly Roll gel pens. Yay, because in my opinion, those are the best ones out there. They really are good quality gel pens. I think, because I messed up my coloring page last night in the World of Flowers book. And I'm the kind of person, I'll just tear it out and throw it away because it's spiral bound. So I think I would like to color in those books with gel pens. I'm going to try that. I've been looking at some videos, And then leave like the Hannah Lynn books for the colored pencils because I really, really love her coloring books. And one of the coloring pages that she did for her patrons was a journal page. So I printed it out. And so what I told Bill, because he saw this, he was like, ooh, did you print that out? And I said, yeah. First of all, it's much smaller than like the full size one, right? So I have a snowball's chance in hell of finishing it. But I thought I would color it and then just cut it out, put it in my junk journal. Right? Yeah. But isn't she so pretty? This one is called Butterfly something. I forget what the name of it is. But I thought I would cut, you know, kind of around so I could do the journaling page like right next to her because there's already lines on it. So we'll see because this 67-pound paper, fantastic. And the printer, chef's kiss. So the printer, I forgot to say the name of the printer and I didn't link it in the description box. It is an HP Envy 6055E. I will link it down below though. It was, I want to say, $180 on Amazon. Well worth it. Very nice printer. And you get free 6 months HP Instant Ink where your printer communicates to them and they know when you're out of ink, so they'll mail you new ink. When I had my other HP printer, I used that and it was very nice because it was nice not to have to worry about ink. They would just automatically mail it to you when your printer was low. So you get 6 months free with that. So that's pretty awesome. You can pick the programs. They have different programs laid out for how many pages you print a month. So I picked, even though I'll probably never do it, 50 pages a month was like $3.99. Yeah, I'll probably never print that many. But I've already probably printed like 3 or 4 because I was fooling with like skin tone and stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, I really like that journal page. That could be a way for me to that's a way for me to put it in the junk journal, so to incorporate that in there. But okay, I do have some OMG moments and talking point. Okay, so let's do the OMG moments first because I have quite a bit of them. Okay, so this is by Amelia Thorne, and she finished another page on this. I forget what this is called, but I've shown it before because it's so amazing. Look at that. Are you freaking kidding me right now? That is so awesome. It kind of gives my minimalist mindset sort of anxiety because that's a lot of books in there. But they are all nice and neat. Yeah, that looks really good though, doesn't it? Whew. A lot of stitching in that. Okay, this one turned out really good. This is by Donna DeRosier. And I don't know what the pattern is. Oh, the pattern is Phantom Plantation by Glendon Place. And I don't know what fabric she used, but it was perfect for this. Didn't that turn out so good? Are you kidding me right now? Love that. Love Halloween stuff. Yeah, love, love, love. Oh, so that reminds me, Halloween. Someone had messaged me or put a comment saying that, you know, I always link Three Birds Lane Etsy store where I bought most of my junk journals from. I linked it in the description box of every video. People are like, someone was like, well, why doesn't she have an Etsy store, or why does she not ever have any product? Well, she sells out very frequently. So when that day that person left that comment, I clicked on the link I had, and she even had a thing in there that said, I'm sold out right now. So you have to realize that those journals take a lot of time to make. A lot of time. I don't know how much time, but I can imagine it's a lot of time. So you have to remember that. So she can't just crank them out, right? Okay, I have 2 more. I have 2 more OMG moments and then a talking point, which I thought was genius. So this was posted by Kel Peterson, and she said, my daughter finished painting the frame and lacing the cross stitch she made for her oldest sibling. It was her first project on black fabric. This is a magnificent, amazing piece of needlework. It's Edgar Allan Poe. It's so stunning, and the frame is perfect. Look at that. And I'm guessing that's the daughter that stitched it. Fantastic. I would not be able to stop staring at that. I would not be able to give that away to someone. No. But I mean, just look at that. Solid full coverage. Like, really. Stunning. And the last one is a diamond painting in the Heaven and Earth Designs group that Jill sent me because I was like, holy fucking shit. So this is by Kiona Elaine. If I say these names wrong, I'm so sorry. So she finally did it. It's her first Heaven and Earth Designs diamond painting. 3 days shy of 5 months. It is a Hannah Lynn piece called Kathleen and Summer. Blown away. When Jill sent me the picture and I looked at it, I was like, are you kidding me? Look how big that is. It's as tall as she is. And I mean, the hair is stunningly gorgeous. I love the hair on the bigger mermaid. Immediately what I wanted to know was, how heavy is that? You know that's heavy AF. Those drills, even when I did Elizabeth, that's behind me, heavy. Heavy to hold that up. This probably weighs 20 pounds with the drills on. I mean, maybe not, but it's got to be heavy. But isn't it so amazingly beautiful? Like, where are you putting that in your house? I hope you're hanging that up. But good night. Wow. Wow. Did people comment? People had to comment. Someone said, hope you find a good framer for it. Someone said, holy moly, that's the biggest diamond painting I've ever seen. It must weigh a ton. Let's look at the previous comments. See if, okay. It was 102 centimeters by 127 centimeters. Holy moly, that's big. And that was a blank canvas. They didn't have it. They didn't buy that from Heaven and Earth Designs. They bought a blank canvas and followed the pattern like you would a cross stitch pattern. Man, that's amazing that they did that in 5 months. Seriously, like that is probably one of the best diamond paintings I've ever seen. Unbelievable. Okay, so the talking point about cross stitch stands, because you know, we've all gone back and forth and I've owned every stand that's been out there just about. And I still have them. That's the one thing I did keep. I kept all of my stands that I have. Because you never know, right? And someone had suggested using a bike repair stand to hold your scroll rods. And this is holding, I'm going to show you the picture. This is holding their 60 centimeter Omg frame with no problem. And it also, the bike repair stand comes with an accessory tray that is perfect for needlework supplies. So let me show you some pictures. Okay, they edited the what's it say? So all of these bike stands have large footprints for needed stability when holding heavy bikes. So she said, check your space before you order one, because it's bigger than a Lowry. I mean, it has like, you're going to see it has like a big triangle on the bottom. And she said, it's easy to move the whole apparatus out of the way. It is not as heavy as it looks. I can move the whole setup away from the bed with one hand. Or you can simply flip a lock open and swing the upper clamp and frame out of the way like most other floor stands. And she says there's one plea. There are probably over 10,000 threads about Lowry stands. This isn't one of them, so please don't take it there. This is amazing though. I forget how much this bike stand was, but look at that. So you can see that she wanted it for stitching in bed. So you see the bike stand fits under there, and then she has it clamped in the clamp, I guess, that you would clamp the bike. So you think it's pretty sturdy if it's going to be able to hold a bicycle. I just thought that was the most ingenious thing I've heard in a long time for a stitching stand. And then she also had this closer up picture of it. It's very cool if you don't have a stitching stand and you want a good alternative. And Yeah, here's another picture. She put a bunch of pictures, so if people had questions, they could really see how she uses it. So there it is too. And on the bottom, that's like a Coke bottle to give you an idea of how big this is. So this is a pretty big apparatus. And you think it has to be if it's repairing bicycles. And it is called, I don't know what the stand is called. Did she link it? I think she linked it. Let me see if I can tell you the name of it if you wanted to look it up. Why is it not going to the previous comments? Oh my God, dude. I hit view previous and it won't go to it. Oh, okay. It is CXWXC bike repair stand. Let me click on it and I'm going to show it to you. It's only $82 and you can save an extra 5%. So let me hold this up here if any of you wanted to check that out. I'll hold it up here for like 20 seconds so you can write it down. That's not bad because a Lowry cost, most of the time, my teal one was over $100. But yeah, you can see the accessory stand on the bottom, right? Or like the middle of it. But yeah, isn't that very cool? Very cool. And that was posted by Reed Counts Toth. So the reason why she even got that was because her bed is really high and none of the floor stands will extend far enough. So she was having a problem. That's genius though. Absolutely love that. Okay. So let's do a motivational story. Oh, I finished the book I was reading, The Dinner Guests by Kirsten Moglen. Really like it. So that is my 33rd book for the year. I'm in the midst. I need to find a new book to read. I think I'm going to try to read Lucinda Berry's Under Her Care. I have so many books in my... What I need to do is go through my book list on Amazon and put a sample on my Kindle of every book that's available for purchase. Because what happens is I will add books there that aren't available yet for purchase. So I put them there to bookmark it so I don't forget. I haven't gone through that list in a long time. I'm sure a bunch of them are available. So I need to go do that. So motivational story for today is sooner or later, you have to let go and become independent. Oh boy. Yeah. Once there lived two neighbors who used to grow the same plants in their respective gardens. One neighbor was fussy and took extreme care of her plants. The other neighbor did what was required, but left leaves of the plants alone to grow as they pleased. I bet that bothered the other neighbor. How much you want to bet? On a fine evening, there was a huge storm accompanied by rainfall. The storm destroyed many of the plants. The next morning, when the fussy neighbor woke up, she found that her plants had been uprooted and destroyed. However, when the more relaxed neighbor woke up, she found that though the damage to her plants was minor, her plants were still firmly rooted. The plant of the relaxed neighbor had learned to do things on its own. So it had done its bit of work, grown deep roots, and made a place for itself in the soil. Thus, it had stood firm even in the storm. However, the fussy neighbor used to do everything for the plant, thereby not teaching the plant how to sustain on its own. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one because that comes right down to your children, right? Teaching your children life skills. So, you know, in my opinion, I don't have my own children. I have a stepdaughter. I've been in her life for 13 years. She's going to be 23 next month. I've been in her life since she was 9, turning 10. Okay? I feel like the purpose of raising children is to raise them to become responsible adults out in the world, not so they can live in your house until they're 50 and you do everything. That's just my 2 cents on that, right? I realize circumstances happen. Look, when I separated from my first husband, I was 28 years old and I didn't have anywhere to go. And so I moved back in with my mom and Charlize's dad for 6 months. I paid my mother rent. I was 28 years old. I paid her rent, had no problem doing that. Slept on her sofa bed because the spare room that she had, I had to use as my office because remember, I worked at home. So I saved enough money that in 6 months, they were also moving. They were moving out of that house into a townhouse. I didn't want to move again with them. She would have let me. She would have not kicked me out. But once you're out, I didn't want to move back in with them or with anyone for that matter. But I moved out on my own. And I've been on my own ever since then. I mean, it's not that it's been easy. I mean, I know what it's like to be broke. I have been really, really broke in my lifetime. But yeah, don't do everything for your children. Let them face consequences too, you know? I mean, not to their detriment, like ending their life kind of consequences, but you know what I mean? It's hard. I'm not saying it's not easy by any stretch of the imagination. Absolutely not. But yeah, that's a good one. So it says, conclusion, sooner or later, you have to let go and become independent. Unless you stop fussing, nothing will work on its own. The plant of the normal neighbor has done its bit of work and made a place for itself, thereby standing firm. The fussy neighbor did everything for the plant, thereby not teaching the plant how to sustain on its own. And, you know, you can also kind of apply that to crafting. And I say that because I've learned that with getting back into coloring somewhat, man, you can make it fussy and complicated. I even said that the other day. Trying to, you know, over-organize the spot. Make everything perfect. It's never going to be perfect. Just fucking sit down and color. Seriously. I've watched so many tutorials and I can't watch any more tutorials. Like, I just need to sit down and color and just do it however, let it take its route, however it's going to do that, right? Okay. So how are we going to continue to unfuck ourselves in 2022? Good tear on that one. Okay. Ooh, this is a good one. A lot of them are good ones. Happiness is a starting point, not the finishing line. That's a good one, right? And first of all, happiness is relative. We all know that. And you're responsible for your own happiness, not for anyone else's. Someone else is choosing to be unhappy in the circumstances. And I heard something, was it on the Minimalist podcast? Yes, it was. The video was, all conflict is self-conflict, because it's how you are interpreting it. And it's so true, because there are a lot of people that in the face of extreme adverse circumstances are very calm and cool and collected. It's because they're making that choice to do it. We all respond to situations in a different way. Something that's very stressful to one person might not be stressful to somebody else. And yeah, all conflict is self-conflict. I was blown away by that. Their podcast, their videos and everything are so good because it just stretches into so much more than just decluttering your house or whatever. But okay, I'm going to end this here. I hope you guys are all having a good Tuesday. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing and spending about 21 minutes of your time with me today. Before I leave, though, I just looked down. Someone wanted me to talk about my wedding ring set. So here, I'm going to take it off. I'm going to show you piece by piece. So this is actually the band that, like, you always get like a wedding band. This is actually my wedding band. We got this at a pawn shop. I really liked it. I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on it. So I always wear that first, right? Then I have, this is my engagement ring. Now, if you've watched my videos for any length of time, these nest into one another. So there's diamonds on this one, and then this nest on top of this. The original ring I had was not this big giant diamond. 2 Decembers ago, yeah, it wasn't last December, it was the December before that. So this December will be 2 years. Bill had his grandmother's ring that he inherited when his mom died. And it was this big giant gold band, but this beautiful, beautiful diamond. And he came in one day and he was like, I wanted to do this for you as a surprise, but I realized I couldn't do it as a surprise. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He wanted to put this diamond in my wedding ring set and make this my engagement ring. And I was like, oh my God, can we do that? Like, I didn't even know if that could be done. Yes. It cost us, I want to say, about $700 to do it, though, because they had to take out the other diamonds that were in there, pull this diamond out of the other ring, and then put it in. But this ring is now worth like $10,000. It's 2 carats. So we have it insured now, because I would be beside myself if something ever happened to this. But isn't it so utterly gorgeous? It is the best piece of jewelry I've ever owned. And when I first got it and put it on my finger, I was just like blown away. And when people who see it haven't seen me or in a long time, they're like, what the hell do you have on your finger? It is an amazing piece of jewelry that, someday I'm going to have to pass on to somebody. It might be my stepdaughter, could be my sister. I mean, those are the only 2 people that I could really think of to leave this to. But yes, it is absolutely stunningly gorgeous. And he did such a good job suggesting that, because I would have never thought about doing that with that diamond. So yeah. All right, guys, I will see you in my next video.